The Unfinished Revolution, How Completion Unlocks Your True Potential. Welcome to a groundbreaking exploration that will challenge everything you thought you knew about success, purpose, and personal fulfillment. Today, we're diving deep into a revolutionary concept that has the power to transform not just your life, but the very fabric of our society. I'm here to share with you the profound insights of Trevor Otts, a visionary thinker and changemaker who's shattering conventional wisdom and redefining what it means to truly achieve our goals. Trevor Otts is not just another self-help guru or motivational speaker. He's a force of nature, a disruptor in the truest sense of the word. His work is reshaping the landscape of personal development and business strategy, challenging us to think bigger, dig deeper, and push beyond the boundaries of what we thought was possible. Trevor's insights aren't just thought-provoking. They're a clarion call for a new way of living, working, and being in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to have your minds blown as we explore the principle of return on finish. This isn't your typical self-help mantra or corporate buzzword. No, this is a paradigm shift that will force you to confront everything you thought you knew about productivity, purpose, and personal fulfillment. Now, you might be thinking, what's so revolutionary about finishing things? We've all heard finish what you start 1,000 times. But hold on to your seats, because what Trevor Otts has uncovered goes far beyond simple platitudes. It's a principle that strikes at the very heart of human potential and the way we navigate our lives and careers. Here's the bombshell. It's impossible for anything that you finish to return unto you void, but everything that you leave unfinished as it pertains to your purpose will return unto you void. Let that sink in for a moment. We're not just talking about crossing items off a to-do list. We're talking about the fundamental difference between abundance and deficit in your life. Think about it. How many times have you started something with enthusiasm only to let it fizzle out? How many dreams have you deferred? How many projects have you abandoned? Society tells us it's okay to pivot, to fail fast, to constantly chase the next big thing. But what if that very mindset is robbing us of our true potential? Trevor Otts challenges us to consider that every unfinished task related to our purpose creates a void, a black hole that sucks away our energy, our confidence, and our ability to manifest abundance. On the flip side, everything we complete in alignment with our purpose has the potential to yield returns beyond our wildest imagination. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but what about when things don't work out? What about when we need to cut our losses? These are valid questions, and they speak to the heart of why this principle is so counterintuitive and powerful. The key lies in understanding the difference between strategic decisions and self-sabotage, between realignment and retreat. Let's break this down further. When Trevor talks about finishing things according to your purpose, he's not advocating for blind persistence or toxic productivity. He's calling for a radical realignment of our actions with our deepest values and goals. It's about quality, not just quantity. It's about impact, not just activity. Consider the story of Tennille Davis, a visionary leader who's reshaping the landscape of Black entrepreneurship. Tennille faced systemic barriers and challenges that would have deterred many. But instead of leaving her vision unfinished, she doubled down on her purpose. She focused on economic empowerment and strategic breakthroughs. The result? Thriving Black-owned businesses, a network of empowered entrepreneurs, and a tangible impact on economic justice. Tennille's journey began with a deep understanding of the importance of economic empowerment for Black communities. She saw the gaps, the missed opportunities, the untapped potential. And instead of just talking about it, she committed to finishing what she started. She didn't just dream about change, she became the change. Every step of the way, Tennille faced obstacles, funding challenges, skepticism from traditional business circles, the weight of representing not just herself, but an entire community. But here's where the return on finish principle really shines. Instead of seeing these challenges as reasons to quit, Tennille saw them as part of the process of completion. She built partnerships, mentored young entrepreneurs, and created spaces where Black business owners could thrive. Each completed project, each successful launch, each barrier broken down wasn't just a win for Tennille, it was a testament to the power of seeing things through. And the results? They're nothing short of revolutionary. Tennille's work has led to the creation of thriving Black-owned businesses that are changing the economic landscape of their communities. She's built a network of like-minded entrepreneurs who are supporting and uplifting each other. Most importantly, she's shown what's possible when you refuse to leave your purpose unfinished. Tennille's story isn't just about business success. It's a testament to the power of seeing things through, of refusing to let obstacles become excuses for incompletion. She understood, perhaps intuitively, what Trevor Otts is now articulating, that finishing what aligns with your purpose is the key to unlocking abundance. But let's be real for a moment. We live in a world that often glorifies the start, not the finish. We celebrate launches, not landings. We're addicted to the dopamine hit of new beginnings, new ideas, new ventures. And in doing so, we've created a culture of chronic incompletion. Think about your own life. How many half written novels are sitting in your drawer? How many business ideas have you brainstormed but never acted on? How many relationships have you left in limbo, neither fully committed nor fully released? Each of these incomplete threads in the tapestry of your life isn't just a missed opportunity. According to Trevor Otts, it's actively creating a deficit. This deficit isn't just metaphorical. It manifests in very real ways in our self-esteem, in our relationships, in our bank accounts. Every time we leave something unfinished that's aligned with our purpose, we're telling ourselves a story that says we're not capable, that our dreams are too big, that we don't have what it takes to see things through. But here's where it gets really interesting. Trevor Otts isn't just talking about personal projects or business ventures. He's talking about the entirety of our lives. He's challenging us to see every interaction, every decision, every moment as an opportunity to align with our purpose and see it through to completion. Take the story of Belinda Mason. Belinda's journey wasn't about building a business empire or changing an industry. It was about personal growth, supporting others, and living authentically. She faced challenges, societal norms, personal doubts, the fear of vulnerability. But instead of leaving her personal growth journey unfinished, she embraced these challenges as opportunities. Belinda's story is a powerful reminder that the return on finished principle applies to all aspects of our lives, not just our careers or business ventures. Her journey began with a deep commitment to personal growth and a desire to support others in their own journeys. But like many of us, she faced significant challenges along the way. Society often tells us to play it safe, to conform, to keep our true selves hidden. Belinda felt the weight of these expectations, the pull to leave her authentic self unexplored. She grappled with personal doubts. Was she really capable of the transformation she sought? Was she worthy of the life she envisioned? But here's where Belinda's story takes a powerful turn. Instead of letting these challenges derail her, she chose to see them as part of her journey to completion. She embraced vulnerability, not as a weakness, but as a strength. She faced her fears head on, understanding that each confrontation was a step towards finishing her personal growth journey. Belinda didn't just work on herself in isolation. She understood that true growth comes from connection and support. So she began to share her journey with others, creating space for authentic conversation and deep personal work. She became a beacon for those struggling with their own incompletions, showing them what was possible when you commit to seeing things through. The results of Belinda's commitment to finishing her personal growth journey are profound. She underwent a remarkable personal transformation, shedding layers of societal conditioning and stepping fully into her authentic self. But more than that, she created a ripple effect of positive change in her community. People who encountered Belinda were inspired to embark on their own journeys of self discovery and completion. They saw in her a living example of what's possible when you refuse to leave your personal growth unfinished. Relationships deepen, communities strengthen, and a culture of authenticity and support began to flourish. Belinda's return on finish wasn't measured in dollars and cents. It was measured in the lives she touched, in the authenticity she embodied, in the ripple effect of her commitment to personal transformation. By seeing her journey through, by refusing to leave her growth unfinished, she created an abundance of connection, purpose, and impact. Now, I can hear some of you skeptics out there. You're thinking, this all sounds great, but what about when life throws you curveballs? What about when circumstances change and you need to adapt? These are crucial questions, and they bring us to the heart of what makes Trevor Otts' principle so revolutionary. The return on finish isn't about rigid adherence to plans or a refusal to evolve. It's about a commitment to seeing things through in a way that aligns with your core purpose. Sometimes finishing something means pivoting. Sometimes it means redefining success, but it always means refusing to leave things in a state of unresolved limbo. Consider the story of Nemeka Craig. Nemeka's journey from dropout to CEO wasn't a straight line. It was filled with twists, turns, and moments where traditional thinking would say she had failed. But Nemeka understood, perhaps instinctively, what Trevor Otts is now articulating. She saw each challenge not as an end, but as part of the process of finishing her true purpose. Nemeka's story begins with a moment that many would consider the end of the road, dropping out of school. In a society that places immense value on traditional education, this could have been seen as a catastrophic failure. But for Nemeka, it was just the beginning of her journey to completion. Instead of seeing her dropout status as an endpoint, Nemeka chose to see it as a crucial piece of her larger story. She refused to let society's definition of success dictate her path. Instead, she dove deep into self discovery, asking herself hard questions about her true purpose and what she really wanted to contribute to the world. This period of reflection wasn't easy. Nemeka faced doubt from others and at times from herself. She grappled with the fear that she had made a terrible mistake, that she had ruined her chances at a successful future. But instead of letting these fears paralyze her, she used them as fuel for her journey. Nemeka began to see her unique path as an asset, not a liability. She realized that her experiences, both the triumphs and the setbacks, gave her a perspective that others didn't have. She started to explore entrepreneurship, not as a fallback option, but as a way to fully express her purpose and potential. Each step of Nemeka's journey was a lesson in completion. She didn't just start businesses, she saw them through, learning from both successes and failures. She didn't just have ideas, she executed them, refining her vision with each completed project. And most importantly, she didn't just dream of being a leader, she stepped fully into that role, completing the transformation from dropout to CEO. Today, Nemeka stands as a testament to the power of the return on finish principle. Her company isn't just successful in the traditional sense, it's a reflection of her completed journey, a manifestation of her fully realized purpose. She's not just a CEO, she's a change maker, inspiring others to see their own unconventional paths as opportunities for growth and completion. Nemeka's story teaches us that finishing isn't always about reaching a predetermined destination. It's about seeing each phase of our journey through to its natural conclusion, extracting the lessons and using them to propel us forward. Her dropout status wasn't an unfinished chapter, it was a completed lesson that fueled her rise to CEO. This brings us to a critical point in understanding the return on finish principle. It's not about perfection. It's not about never changing course. It's about a mindset of completion, of seeing things through, of refusing to leave loose ends that drain our energy and dilute our focus. Think about the energy you waste on unfinished business, the mental bandwidth taken up by that project you started but never completed, the emotional toll of relationships left in ambiguous states, the nagging feeling of potential unfulfilled. Now imagine channeling all that energy into completion, into alignment, into purpose driven action. This is where the true power of Trevor Otts' principle lies. It's not just about productivity or achievement in the conventional sense. It's about liberation. It's about freeing ourselves from the weight of incompletion and stepping into the fullness of our potential. But let's be clear, this isn't easy. In a world that's constantly vying for our attention, that's always dangling the next shiny object in front of us, committing to finish what we start is a radical act. It requires discipline, self awareness, and a willingness to confront our own patterns of self sabotage. It also requires us to get crystal clear on what our purpose actually is. Because remember, the return on finish isn't about blindly completing every task that comes our way. It's about aligning our actions with our deepest values and goals. It's about discernment, about knowing what's worth finishing and what's a distraction from our true path. This is where many of us stumble. We've been so conditioned to chase external markers of success that we've lost touch with our internal compass. We finish things that don't matter and leave unfinished the things that do. Trevor Otts is calling us to flip this script, to become ruthlessly aligned with our purpose, and to see that alignment through to completion. Now, I want you to take a moment and really let this sink in. Think about the projects, the relationships, the personal growth areas in your life that are currently unfinished. How many of them align with your deepest sense of purpose? How many of them, if completed, could yield abundance in your life? And conversely, how many of them are creating a deficit, draining your energy and holding you back from your true potential? This isn't just theoretical. The implications of the return on finish principle are profound and far reaching. Imagine a world where people consistently finished what they started, where projects aligned with purpose were seen through to completion, where relationships were either fully committed to or cleanly concluded. The ripple effects would be staggering. In business, we'd see fewer half-baked startups and more sustainable, impactful companies. In personal development, we'd see fewer perpetual seekers and more embodied leaders. In relationships, we'd see less ambiguity and more genuine connection. In short, we'd see a world with less waste of time, of resources, of human potential. But here's the kicker. This world isn't some utopian fantasy. It's available to us right now if we have the courage to embrace the return on finish principle. It starts with a simple but profound shift in mindset, a commitment to seeing things through, to aligning our actions with our purpose, to valuing completion over mere initiation. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but what about failure? Isn't it important to be able to cut our losses and move on? Absolutely. But here's where Trevor Otts' principle really challenges our conventional thinking. What if what we typically call failure is actually just an unfinished process of learning and growth? What if by reframing our understanding of completion, we could transform our relationship with failure itself? This isn't about toxic positivity or denying the reality of setbacks. It's about a fundamental reorientation towards completion and purpose. It's about understanding that true failure isn't in not achieving a specific outcome. It's in not seeing the process through to its natural conclusion, in not extracting the full measure of growth and learning from our experiences. Let's go back to Nameka Craig's story for a moment. By conventional standards, dropping out could be seen as a failure. But Nameka didn't leave that experience unfinished. She completed the lesson it had to teach her, integrated it into her journey, and used it as a stepping stone to becoming a CEO. That's the essence of the return on finish principle in action. This principle challenges us to redefine what completion looks like. It's not always about reaching the goal we initially set out to achieve. Sometimes completion means having the courage to pivot when we realize our current path isn't aligned with our purpose. Sometimes it means extracting the lesson from a setback and using it to fuel our next move. But it always means refusing to leave things in a state of unresolved incompletion. Now, I want to be clear. This isn't about adding pressure or stress to your life. It's not about creating a never-ending to-do list or beating yourself up over past incompletions. It's about liberation. It's about freeing yourself from the energy drain of unfinished business and stepping into the flow of purpose-aligned action. Imagine the clarity you'd have if you weren't constantly juggling a dozen half-finished projects. Imagine the confidence you'd feel if you knew you had the ability to see things through, come what may. Imagine the sense of purpose and direction you'd experience if every action you took was aligned with your deepest values and goals. This is the promise of the return on finish principle. It's not just about getting things done. It's about living a life of integrity, purpose, and abundance. It's about closing in the gap between who you are and who you're capable of becoming. But let's not sugarcoat it. This isn't easy. It requires a level of self-awareness and commitment that goes beyond what most of us are accustomed to. It means getting uncomfortable, confronting our patterns of procrastination and self-sabotage, and being willing to do the deep work of aligning our actions with our purpose. It also requires us to be discerning. Not everything needs to be finished. Part of the wisdom is in knowing what's aligned with your purpose and what's a distraction. It's about quality of completion, not just quantity. So where do we go from here? How do we begin to implement this principle in our lives? It starts with awareness. Take stock of your unfinished business, the projects, the relationships, the personal growth areas that you've left hanging. Ask yourself honestly, which of these, if completed, would align with my deepest sense of purpose? Which of these, if left unfinished, are creating a deficit in my life? Next, commit to completion. Choose one area, just one, where finishing would yield significant returns in terms of your purpose and well-being. Make a plan to see it through, not just to a predetermined endpoint, but to its natural conclusion, whatever that may look like. As you do this, pay attention to the energy shift. Notice how completing something aligned with your purpose feels different from just crossing a random task off your to-do list. Notice the sense of alignment, of flow, of rightness that comes with purpose-driven completion. And here's a crucial point. Celebrate your completions. In a world that's always pushing us towards the next thing, taking time to acknowledge and appreciate what we finished is a revolutionary act. It reinforces the neural pathways of completion and builds our confidence in our ability to see things through. As we near the end of our time together, I want to leave you with a challenge that comes straight from the heart of Trevor Otts' return on finish principle. This isn't just a call to action, it's a call to revolution, a revolution in how we think about success, purpose, and our own potential. I challenge you to make a radical commitment to completion, not just to finishing tasks, but to seeing your purpose through to its fullest expression. I challenge you to look at your life, your work, your relationships, your personal growth journey, and ask yourself, what am I leaving unfinished? What incompletions are creating a deficit in my life? And most importantly, what would it look like to commit to finishing, truly finishing the things that align with my deepest sense of purpose? This isn't just about productivity or achievement. It's about integrity. It's about living a life that's aligned with your values and purpose. It's about creating abundance, not just for yourself, but for the world around you through the power of completion. Remember, in the words of Trevor Otts, it's impossible for anything that you finish to return unto you void, but everything that you leave unfinished as it pertains to your purpose will return unto you void. This is more than just a principle. It's a call to action, a challenge to step into the fullness of your potential. So I leave you with this. What will you finish today? What step will you take towards alignment, towards purpose, towards abundance? The choice is yours. The power is yours. And the return, the incredible life-changing return on your commitment to finish is waiting for you. Your unfinished symphony is waiting for its final notes. It's time to pick up the baton and conduct your life with purpose, with passion, and with an unwavering commitment to completion. The world is waiting for your finished masterpiece. Don't let it wait any longer. This is your moment. This is your call to action. This is your opportunity to rewrite the script of your life, to transform incompletion into abundance, to turn unfinished business into a legacy of purpose and impact. Will you answer the call? Will you commit to the revolution of completion? Will you embrace the return on finish principle and see it through to its ultimate conclusion? The choice is yours. The time is now. Your unfinished life is waiting. Go out there and finish it. The world is waiting for your completed masterpiece. Let's make it a reality together. Thank you.